You know, when you start to study organizations and the behaviors of organizations, what you see is that some organizations are outperforming other organizations. And as much as we work on skills and behaviors and developing those in individuals, we still don't get the same traction from organization to organization to organization. And as we started to unpeel this thing, what we started to see is that a lot of this ties back to this concept of curiosity. And we've all heard this term, you know, curious like a child. And when you really start to study curiosity, you find some fascinating things. We know children are very, very curious individuals, and when you start to dig in the science behind this, what you see is curiosity starts to move and evolve over time. How many of you have children in the room? How many of those children ask you a tremendous amount of questions? Any idea how many questions they actually ask you per day when they're very young? Yeah, so some of us, you know, data geeks have measured that, right? When you look at a child at the age of 4, they ask a tremendous amount of questions. On average, the psychologists will tell you that they ask about 300 to 400 questions a day. So they're very, very curious, and they're constantly asking this question of why. But the amazing thing is this: when you get to the age of about 11, or you get to middle school, 300 questions turn into 0. So there's a huge difference, or there's something at play here that we need to pay attention to. Think of an average college student, right? Those that have been in college or recently in college or are in college. Why don't they ask a lot of questions today?
They don't have put school on their minds.
Well, they don't. They have other things on their mind as well. Yeah. Well, see, there I think is the difference, right? Most people, when they start to go into higher levels of education, are taught things, they're instructed things. We push information at individuals today. We don't engage them in the learning process. They're lectured. That's exactly right. See, there's a difference between facilitation, bringing people into the conversation, and education or instruction means we push information to them. So by nature of changing their environment, right, we start to diminish their curiosity. And in fact, we see the exact same thing in business. Most of the curiosity levels are directly dependent on the environments that we create. And the unfortunate side of this is this: we have spent the majority of the last 20 years processing business. And it doesn't matter if it's hospitality or it doesn't matter if it's manufacturing. We've taken all of this Lean Six Sigma stuff and lean manufacturing concepts and we've put them in every part of business. Why? Because we can squeeze cost out. Why? Because we become more efficient. And what's happened in business is we've become more efficient, but we've become less effective. We've become less effective, and that's where curiosity comes in.